Hey, beloved, today we're going to talk about how to overcome overthinking as Christians. So, we first acknowledge that we are born again, we have God, but then when you become born again, your mind needs to be reprogrammed. Your mind is still the same. Your spirit changed, but your mind isn't. So, we're going to use the word from Romans 12, it says in verse 1, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your body is a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. Verse 2, and do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So, what is required of us by God and by His powers that our minds needs to change. So when it comes to overthinking, what's really happening is that you anticipate bad things happening. So it may look as if you can't help it. It just happens because if you have been living like that for a long time, your mind is used to being overthinking. And if you look at that most of the time, you think the worst things are going to happen, and when they finally happen, you're like, yeah, I just knew it. The thing is, you were believing the wrong things, that those things were going to happen. And as Christians, we know the power of our minds and we know the power of our tongue. If we misuse it and then see wrong results, we should know that it didn't happen because we just said it. It happened because we prophesied those things to happen, especially if we're talking about something that we don't have proof. We said it, we didn't even know it's there, but it manifested. It shows us that when we said those things are going to happen, we participated in those bad events. And I know it's hard and it's said it's not as easy as many people would say. Just change the way of your thinking. It's not easy, but it's work, and it's possible when you cast all your cares upon God because He cares for you. You have to make this your commitment. What I do suggest is that you acknowledge God in your life. You have your journals, a place where you write down. Journaling can really help with overthinking, especially when you take your time and acknowledging some things about your life. You start to see yourself, because when you journal, the thing is, which is why I decided that I want to bring more self-help with my journalings, to bring a lot of solution. You see, when you journal, you are able to recognize your pattern of thinking. You become aware of your thoughts, you become aware, and there is a solution. The thing about life is that sometimes we are told about many things, like things just happen and we have no power whatsoever, but we do have power. And so what is more required of us is to be responsible and being committed. It takes time. Even when you journal, it's not like you're going to journal today and see the entire results today or tomorrow. It takes time. Remember that it was time that has shaped your thinking into the way it is. I used to overthink. I mean, even saying so, I used to have some times as well where I would be thinking so evil, man, and anticipate bad things. But that happened because I was surrounded by people with so much unbelief, and that is very contagious. They can give you that way of thinking as well, and you start to think like them, and then the next thing, you start seeing all the worst things. You anticipate bad things, and then you say those things are going to happen, and you see them happening, and you say it again, I knew it, but it was your mouth. So we have to be careful about what we are saying. So you have to take the word. You see, the Bible talks about renewing of our mind. We need to start changing the way we think, which is why you need people on that. And I love the fact that you are listening to this, because it shows that you are interested, you want to learn, you want self-help content because you want help. So the more you spend on changing the way of your thinking, the more you can find help. So there's a difference, like listening to this content tonight, right? It's amazing, it's a start, but there is something when you are given something specific to your problem. Like I used to watch some people at marketing companies, they would give suggestions to some other people, and people would say, this is not helping, this is not helping. That's because that information is given to a lot of people. That information, it may help other people who are watching or listening to that person, but because the one who needs help did not come or went to the person who is speaking about the solutions of that problem they're having, so they can't really get the real solution of what they are looking for. Especially when I would look at people giving advices on relationships, they talking about, you got to be patient, you will see results. Some people are experiencing worse things than others, so that message may be right for other people. That message can make people to die, because some people are in abusive relationships. If it so happened that they kill them and they listened to you and they thought you were talking to them. So it's important, even while I'm talking to you in this way, like, if you feel like you need some extra conversation on this one, you may comment down on the comment section below, and I will definitely respond on your comment to talk, because I love to communicate with people, but I also love to see someone get answer based on what they are asking about, which is why I'm also working on my healing journal, emotional healing journal, to provide, so that we can find the healing in our souls, and so that we can continue being as healthy as possible in our soul. I believe it's impossible and it's important. I believe it's possible and it's important to find help for our minds. We need mental freedom as well. So I'm gonna say this for now, and if you have any question, you may comment them down below. The first thing that is needed is to change the way of your thinking. You will change the way of your thinking when you start seeing, how are you thinking? If you say you are quick to see negative from happening, you need to stop thinking in that way. Start thinking positive. It's not going to be easy because you're not used to it, but force it until it becomes your habit. When it becomes your habit, it will be your attitude, and eventually you will be a changed person. You won't be the old person you used to be, because overthinking hurts you. It can give you anxiety. You can be sick. You can even die, and that's not what we want. So we want you to be free as soon as possible. So may God bless you. God keep you. I love you. And if you have any questions, you may comment them down below. Take care. Mwah. Bye.